Breaking news, my country people. Now, wow, this our IGP Egbetokun. He no one retire. I been a day in one remain put. In time don already pass. Yet, he still remain the IGP. But now in they go after those other officers wey be say they don't reach 60 and they still remain for office. If you not see the way in they pursue them, you go dey think say show this man know wetin in they do. But him himself, him don pass retirement age, yet he still remains the IGP. So wetin come dey happen? Plenty people don dey question this his continuous, staying in office despite his retirement. A human rights activist had lambasted Egbetokun, the IGP, saying he doesn't care about the institution he leads. He made a statement in reference to Omoyele Sowore, where he criticized Egbetokun's continued tenure as the Inspector General of Police. And it seems unlawful. It seems unlawful because this very man, used to go after those that have retired, those that are over 60. He used to go after them. He used to force them to retire. But this current IGP now, he is more than 60 years old. He is more than 60, yet he hasn't retired. And the law states that those persons who are either over 60 years or have completed 35 years of service should be made to retire. So how come Egbetokun still remains in office, but yet he goes after those that are over 60 or even those that have completed their 35 years in service? So what's happening? Why is he undermining the Constitution? Why is he being a hypocrite? But he himself, the Senate, extended his tenure. Yes, now my country people, the Senate extended his retirement age. But he seems to be going after other officers for overstaying retirement age. In January 2025, Egbetokun ordered an immediate and comprehensive investigation into the head of Interpol National Central Bureau, AIG Idawo, and AIG Abdul Yari, and some other senior police officers over allegations of backdating their service records in an unethical practice. And this directive was detailed in a memo addressed to the head of the IGP Monitoring Unit dated January 13, 2025, and signed by the Assistant Inspector General of Police Force Secretary, AIG Olufu Rauda. And according to the memo, those under investigations included AIG Abdul Yari, AIG Idawo, AIG Benigwe, CP Peter, and others. The IGP ordered their investigation following a letter dated January 6, 2025 to that effect by a civil group, the Integrity Youth Alliance in Abuja. And sources indicated that Egbetokun was aware of the age falsification and the officers overstaying their retirement age in the force. But then he chose not to act until he lobbied for his service extension, which was granted by the Senate. And on July 23rd, 2024, it was reported that the Nigerian Senate had passed a controversial amendment bill to extend Egbetokun's tenure beyond September. And that was how they extended his tenure. So ever since then, Egbetokun continued acting as the IGP the IGP, the Inspector General of Police. But it's not supposed to be so. He ought to have retired. He ought to have retired. And then they also brought about a bill which aimed at extending the Nigerian Police Act, which seeks to increase the retirement age of police officers from 60 to 65 years. And then their tenure of service from 35 to 40 years. And Egbetokun was actually the brain behind that bill. He was actually the brain behind that bill because he wanted to remain in office. So he brought about that controversial bill through the back door and had allocated a huge amount of funds to lobby for the bill passage. to lobby for the bill passage. So the proposed extension of the service year and retirement age for police officers met widespread criticisms from key stakeholders, including the Police Service Commission, the Ministry of Police Affairs, the National Salaries and Wages Commission during the public hearing. And those guys were quite pissed because the move by the police officers seemed selfish. The Ministry of Police Affairs, in its submission, warned that implementing that particular extension would be unintended, and would have far-reaching consequences, which would be detrimental to the overall health and operations of the police force. Moreover, it will set a dangerous precedent for other agencies, such as the military and the paramilitary organizations, where they argue that increasing the service years of police personnel would lead to stagnation. It will hinder progress and renovation within the force, while also negatively impacting motivation and adaptability. So many persons were against the proposal. Many persons were against the proposal because they said they brought up this proposal for personal gains, that they did not bring it up for the welfare of the police officers, but for personal gains only. And Kayode Egbetokun was actually lobbying that bill so that they can pass that bill. And it was reported that the PSC, that's the Police Service Commission, had approved the immediate retirement of senior police officers who are over 60 years or have served for 35 years in office. They approved it on Friday. So I don't know why Kayode Egbetokun is just going after this case. He just wants to make sure he remains there, probably forever. Who knows? He doesn't want to leave power. And guys, this man has generated a lot of controversies ever since we got to know him as the IGP. He has generated a lot of controversies, starting from going after innocent TikTokers, going after those that tend to speak against the president, going after anybody that is Tinubu's critics, anybody that criticizes Tinubu. The IGP is ready to go after you. And then, look at the recent one, Omoyele Sowore. Look at how the Nigerian police has made a caricature of themselves by going after Omoyele Sowore. Omoyele Sowore that has the whole time in the world to follow them up, bumper to bumper. Omoyele Sowore did not come to play. He actually messed up the police officers, and they have soiled their name. They have rubbed their name in the mud because the whole world was watching what they were doing. Imagine charging someone to court because they uploaded a video of police officers extorting money. Imagine going after a bloody civilian because he released a video of the corruption going on within the Nigerian police force. And then, at the end of the day, the IGP doesn't want to retire. He doesn't want to, back out. Even the Attorney General of the Federation have said that Kayode Egbetokun's continued stay is unconstitutional. But yet, he remains the IGP. And Tinubu is not saying anything about it. Tinubu doesn't want to do anything about it. So my country people, this dirty politics that is being played in Nigeria, it is really putting this country in a bad state. I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comments.